What do you want? So let's get to the bottom of this and highlight the energetic structure that can support you in getting what you want. So when I ask this question, what comes to mind? Is it the income? Is it the relationship? Is it the house, the place, the vacation, the whatnot? And then if you go beyond that, the deeper ones, because I want to be happy, because I want to show somebody I care, because I want to support somebody in whatever they're doing, because I want to stabilize, because I want to secure, I want to know myself as such. I want to feel as such. So let me tell you a little story. Sia Andrish. Many years ago, I wanted to go to this beautiful exotic location. I think it was somewhere in Mexico. We went to so many places, perhaps Acapulco. And so I kept imagining going there and how happy I'm going to be there, because we're going to go to this beautiful resort and it's just going to be every day beautiful, wonderful. This is like the dream vacation accomplishment. And when we were there, I think probably at day 2, I was pretty bummed. I was bummed. And I remained bummed for like 3 days. I just simply couldn't get rid of it. I didn't have the spiritual tools I have now to bring me back into feeling good. And I was bummed because I don't even remember. Maybe because my ex-husband said something that hurt me, or maybe because, I don't know, I was near my period, or whatever reasons. Maybe my body was tired. But what I realized at that point is, it's not the place, it's not the vacation, it's not all these things that will make me happy and retain that happiness within me. So ultimately, I think what we all want is to find that stabilized happiness, that happiness where we wake up every day and we feel great, that we are exactly where we need to be, that we're doing exactly what we're wanting to be doing, that we're good in our relationships, with all of our relationships, our health. So then how do you stabilize happiness? Right? Happiness is an emotion. One could say that it's a state. But in an emotion, Szia Marika, kösz, hogy itt vagy. How do you stabilize an emotion? Because emotion goes, right? It's energy in motion. So what is the state behind it? Because you can step into a state, you can stabilize a state. So a state behind happiness is stability, sense of safety, sense of security, sense of fulfillment, knowing of fulfillment, knowing of your own empowerment, knowing that what you do here is valuable, knowing where you are in your family, in your community, in humanity, that you are doing something impactful, right? Those are the deeper ones. And gotta tell you that right here, I feel that whenever people are pushed into a job that they simply just do because I gotta pay the bills, so I'm going to take this job now, those slowly, if your heart is not in it, it will slowly rip away your life force, your life energy, your sense of worth. Hence there are so many people who do not feel worthy, period, do not feel worthy. So how do you even get to being happy when you don't feel worthy? You can't. It's just the only way, well, not the only way. One of the ways that I see a lot of people do is when they turn towards those external distractions, those momentary happy makers. We all know the Netflix, the eating, the utilizing uppers, alcohol, drugs, whatnot, to feel some form of relief from the sense of unworthiness and maybe momentary happiness. So what we want to do here is stabilize, get into that state that can allow us to be happy because we are living in the state. We are living in the fulfillment of our lives. So, the way I have seen this, the way I have made it streamline and help my clients with this is that you need to be able to have a transitioning energetic structure within you that allows you to embody this state, right? Because when you feel fulfillment, you gotta have a few energetic lines and frequencies in place for you to be able to feel fulfilled. And the very first of that is your identity. What do you root your identity in? And this is where it comes in. What I've been talking about for the past 11 days is, what do you ground your identity in? What do you connect into? So by now, at this time of my life, I connect into the highest source that I know is available and exists. You know, we each connect into whatever we feel is great at that point. I want to go to the top. I don't want just halfway or middleman. I want to connect into the absolute, the origin, the beginning. And that is where we come from. That is what we call God. So I ground myself into that, ground my identity in that. And then from there, then, as I keep stepping in that identity, then that structure emerges. The structure that I have cultivated over time, and this is what I share with people, what I call spiritual coherence, where your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body, your spirit are all in a conjunction point within you that you have now created your internal relationship around. You know, like your internal family is in place. Because when one of you, let's say your emotional aspect, pulls out because something triggered it, then the other aspects are, hey, come back. So it's a very fast way for you to come into your center and come into the depth of your identity. Because it's one thing also to come into your center of, yeah, I'm in the center, I'm calm, I'm peaceful, I'm meditating. And it's a much deeper dimension when you remember who you are. You immediately elevate yourself. You can immediately elevate yourself out of those lower resonances of self-doubt, of low self-worth issues. You simply, it's like you watch yourself from a higher perspective, and all of a sudden, as you pull up, you shed the other lower resonances because they become non-relevant anymore because you remember who you are. And then embodying this, right? Just like how, you know, my dog, oh yeah, that's not good. Okay, I gotta go now. Well, my dog decided to go bark at a much bigger dog. So I'm continuing. I wish this video stayed one because it was such a good flow. So the embodiment, right? Just like when you strengthen your physical body, you don't just go to the gym once, or you don't just go to the gym for 2 weeks and try all the machines and say, I've tried them, I know how they work, I felt them in my muscles. It becomes a lifestyle. You know, when you renew yourself, then that means that you are a new being. And that means that's your life. You're living that life. So it is a new lifestyle that you are implementing, that you're living in, that you are practicing. So this is more than just, I do these 3 things a day and I do those things at night. This is a state of remembrance where you operate from. This is when you are now not just stepping into your new identity, but you're walking in your new identity. And when you're walking in your new identity, when you speak from, when you act from, when you think from, back to the origin, from knowing who you are in the origin, then every action is then infused with that remembrance, with that knowing, where low self-worth can't even exist because you know that you're invaluable, where you are joyful just because you are in that space, because that space, joy is one of the foundational frequencies. And when you can access joy easily just like that, then the rhythm of your life changes. Then every interaction with people change. And yes, you can still have bad moods here and there, but they're not like how they used to be. They don't tear you down like how it is when you are just simply riding by the idea or the what we call lower self, the earthly self identity of I'm great because I have a safe enough job that I think is safe, and I have a good house and I have a good car. This is now stabilizing yourself in a permanent state of remembrance as to who you are. So that is what I have for you today. If you want to see and feel this structure, this framework in your life, my friends, then let me know. You know what to do. Don't have to click here and there. Send me a link. Because through this, I helped people who were able to get up and leave from unfit relationships, from abusive relationships that have, nagged on them and hurt them for years. When you remember who you are, when you anchor into that who you are starting to fly. So I thank you, my friends, and I will see you tomorrow.